The phenomenal success of the Indian poker story has been unfolding in front of our very eyes. With its humble beginnings, the sport has evolved year after year, cultivating some of the most promising talent in the nation. Getting started in poker is easy, and there is a lot of fun to be had. Professionals and amateurs alike, most players had an interesting start.
Well, I got into poker online on Facebook via Zynga, and the more of Zynga I played, the more I started loving the game.
Dad got me a PlayStation, and he had got some preloaded games from one of his business trips. And there were like a lot of games, and one of them was WSOP. So that's how I got hooked onto it.
Somebody sent me a Facebook request on Texas Hold'em. My cousin stayed in New Jersey and his roommate had a poker table. So he kind of taught me the rules and everything more. So we started playing there.
I started playing back in my dorm room when I was doing my MBA. I've always been a fan of maths and statistics, so got hooked to the game, was very intrigued with the nuances of it.
My friend was hosting a poker-based birthday party at his hotel, and I saw them walking in with gun cases. And I was like, okay, that's fun, but what is this all about? So he opened it up and it was a chipset. And that's when I actually realized that poker is a game which was played around a table with people and not against the house and stuff like that. So that was my beginning in poker.
But post the initiation into poker, being successful and making a living out of it is certainly the toughest part. And for anyone who's getting into the sport professionally, one has to keep in mind that the journey is riddled with obstacles.
So I will circumvent the debate about whether poker is gambling or not. I will simply say that any investment requires bankroll management, whether it is in the stock market or whether it is in buying a house or whether it is buying a car. So the first thing that you need to be careful about is choosing the stakes properly, understanding the games, the nuances. So I would recommend new players to be playing smaller stakes tables within their bankrolls where it doesn't hurt them, because however important skill might be, there is still an element of luck and probability, and you can't circumvent that. Therefore, you have to have the ability to take variance, the ability to manage bankroll, and of course, goes without saying that you have to be focused about learning the game. Every game, every hand, there's something to learn.
The legality of poker in the country has been a hot debate over the years. The Indian Poker Association has spearheaded efforts at legalizing the sport of poker across India.
It is legal to play poker, and that's been tested in 2 states. It's yet to be tested in other states, but I dare say that within a period of 6 months, there will be at least 6 states where poker can be legally played.
The very fact that Bangalore has 12 poker rooms and therefore indirectly employs over 300 people, besides the various professionals who play and eke a living, is testimony to the fact that a new game is catching up and feeding millions of people along the way.
Online poker has recently become massively popular within India and has boosted the numbers coming into the IPC.
In the old days, Poker Guru and IPC were actually like big rivals for at least 2 to 3 years. It was pretty intense. In 2014, the live scene died out a little bit because of the introduction of TDS in Goa. And we decided as IPC and the team, we decided that we were going to launch an online poker site. I mean, I just came up with this idea and I suggested it to the rest of the guys, said why not discuss it with Poker Guru. And we called Rajat, we had a meeting with him, and they were also pretty keen. They said, yeah, it sounds good. And that's how we tied up for sparkingpoker.com.
We started with like what, 100, 150, 200 hits a month. This is about 2010. We've grown 2011 during a peak time, we were about 5,000-6,000 hits a month. And now we, during the live coverage alone, we'll do about 10 times more than that. The fact is that the reach has increased, the popularity of the game has increased.
It is the coming together of 2 of India's biggest poker companies, and I think it's a big honor to actually represent them.
There have been many catalysts to take it to where it is today. Indian High Court judgments in 2 states ruling in favor of its skill worthiness has resulted in legal online and offline poker rooms booming.
with more sites coming up, with more pros getting signed, I think it's going to open doors for a lot of people to actually consider this as a career.
The monumental success of the IPC franchise has allowed poker players to finally become the stars that they really are. This is that story.